White culture is fantastic. All the plays and the paintings and the music, like classical music, like Mozart and Chopin and all the, Shakespeare and Tolstoy and oh my God, it's just, and all the science, all the math, the whole university system, all of that. And it just goes on, and it's just a mosaic of beauty and glory. And that creates a group of people who can live together. That's why all the neighborhoods in white neighborhoods, it's a fine place to live. Yes, there are problems, but they're minimal. And it's all of that uplifting culture that makes you cultured, that makes you civilized. And then once that's in, the higher up you are in education and stuff, the better people, if you live in a really nice educated area of white culture, it is so peaceful. And I grew up in one, and the people aren't great. They're fake and ugly and, petty, and but there's all these norms that are created by culture that make it a safe place to live. And you can be a kid just like I was at 4 or 5 years old and walk anywhere you want to walk, as far as you can go, just by yourself or with your friend. And it's just no problem. Nothing's going to happen. Probably there'll be some fights and, there'll be some bullying, and that'll teach you, and you'll have to get up on top of it. But it's a very comfortable, pleasant place to live. And there's plenty of food, and it's warm, and all that culture creates a wonderful environment for people to live in together. And that is the difference. And how do you create that culture? How do you make that kind of diverse culture? And the importance of the arts and refining a human culture. The Republicans, back when they were Republicans and Democrats were Democrats, and we had these norms, they were against the arts because that aspect, that, masculine aspect that is traditionally Republican, while the Democrat is traditionally feminine, it doesn't really understand the beauty and the glory of the arts and of femininity. But that aspect is just as important as any of it to creating a civilized, person who can get along and with other people, even if they disagree or don't like them. And that's what it teaches you through all of that understanding. That's why you read all those novels because it teaches you how to elevate your own humanity, that beauty and that glory. And that is what is necessary to have an advanced culture. And if you don't have that, you're not going to have an advanced culture. And that's just how that is. It's like, we kill animals to eat them, and they're nice and they love each other, but the world's a brutal place. And if you got to just step up to that and look at it, because then you can actually do things with it.